film goers tonight are mourning one of Hollywood's greatest stars.
Bette Davis remained a favorite to this day on the late-night movie on the rented black and white videotape. She died last night in Paris. In that grand era when Hollywood manufactured stars, Bette Davis created herself.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Bette Davis was a woman possessed of style. In performances that sizzled across the big screen, she gave life to an astonishingly large cast of women. They were strong, they were outrageous, they were intelligent. Sometimes they were mean, sometimes they were mad, but they all had style.
My father drank himself to death. My mother lives in Paris. I take a great deal of exercise. I'm accustomed to a reasonable quantity of tobacco and alcohol. I'm said to have a sense of humor.
Oh, a new woman from top to toe. Don't get up, Alec. New shoes, new stockings, new dress, new head.
A new disposition.
What was the matter with my old one?
In real life, as on film, Bette Davis was known as a woman who had a mind, the words to say what was on it, and she frequently did so in language exciting enough to put some of her own scripts to shame. She was not only a star, she was an artist. That meant she had to act, and did so in some 86 films during a career that lasted more than half a century. Earlier this year, in one of the last broadcast interviews of her life, she talked with Liz Smith about the passion that fueled her career.
I love acting. I love it. I love keeping busy. I'm very busy otherwise, other times. I just love it to work. I couldn't think of not being part of making films.
May I see you again?
I don't mind.
She did 21 films before making her mark with Of Human Bondage in 1934 and won her first Oscar for Dangerous the next year. In 1938, the role of Jezebel gave her her second Oscar. In fact, she's credited with naming the statue. In one of her saucier remarks, she said the statue's rear end resembled her second husband's. His middle name was Oscar. In all, she married 4 times, declared herself a failure at it, and vowed to never marry again. What made the Bette Davis success story, the story of her career, so interesting is that she did it without being a classic beauty.
When I arrived in Hollywood, they did not know what to do with my different kinds of things. They did not know. It took a long time for them to get used to it.
Mademoiselle, je vous remercie infiniment pour l'invitation.
Enchanté to you, too.
And while the roles did not get better with age, Bette Davis did not give up. And despite a mastectomy, stroke, and broken hip in 1983, she continued to act, lecture, and in April was honored by the Film Society of Lincoln Center. 2,500 people gave her a 2-minute ovation. She was in Paris on her way home from a film festival in Spain when she succumbed to the cancer she had been battling since 1983.
But what I would like to be remembered by is she was a good actress.
Alas, Mrs. Strong, memories can fade too.
That has not been my experience.
And will you be happy, Charlotte?
Oh, Jerry, don't let's ask for the moon. We have the stars.
Bette Davis was 81 years old. She is survived by 2 adopted children and a daughter, Barbara. Funeral arrangements have not been announced yet.